You may have heard of The Lord of the Rings. It has been popularized among Catholics and non-Catholics alike for generations, all due to J.R.R. Tolkien being a 20th century Catholic author. But not everybody knows The Lord of the Rings nowadays. And in fact, many people hear stories from the 21st century exclusively. In recent years, anime has become very popular with teens and adults alike, due to its gripping storytelling and genres that appeal to everybody. So how do we as Catholics find value in these stories like we found with The Lord of the Rings? Stories that will be around for generations. I think the answer to this is to search for God inside of anime, if you will. And the easiest way to do that is by finding allegory examples and examples of Christian values that are present in anime. And now, Tolkien himself said that his story wasn't actually an allegory for Christianity necessarily, but people have interpreted it in that way, and that's all because of their Christian Catholic worldviews. And I think that it's important to share the gospel with others and to share that worldview with the world, because it completely changes how you view modern shows like anime and basically any type of media. A great example of Christian value in anime is an anime called Clannad, and it's actually one of my favorite animes because the story follows a young man and a woman who are in high school. They learn to rely on each other as a couple even after they graduate. So this show actually shows kind of the transition into adulthood and responsibility. And the series has very many good Christian values and lessons to learn, but the most important one, I think, is a reliance on God and a spouse in a healthy way, because you can't get through life all by yourself. You can't just shut yourself out from the world, because everybody has their own flaws. And I think also another good example of an anime that you can find a good Christian moral lesson in is Berserk. Now, it's a very dark fantasy, even darker than Lord of the Rings is, but it actually does something that not a lot of people actually are able to see and understand. And that is, one, showing the struggle against evil, and two, it actually presents that evil in a manner to where it does show exactly the consequences of evil and acts as a cautionary tale. The story acts as a viewpoint to see how sin affects the world, and it also portrays an inspirational struggle against evil similar to that of Frodo Baggins from Lord of the Rings. I think that talking to people about anime actually is a gateway to talking to them about the gospel if you think of it in the correct way, because you can take an anime that you've watched and you're talking to someone about it, but then you're like, what did you appreciate about it? And you're like, yeah, I really appreciated like the Christian moral values that I learned from this anime. The world is a reflection of God, and a quote from St. Augustine, "I asked the frame of the whole world about my God, and he answered, I am not he, but he made me." I hope that some of you who watch this video will be able to search for God in anime just like I have. Thank you.